Hello everybody, welcome back to another World Tour episode of the Survival with Fix. Here we go, we're getting into it. This is going to be probably a long one because we are doing a complete World Tour. And we're starting right here in Steelport, our industrial city. And the only reason why we're starting here is not because the world started here, but because this is where World Spawn is. So let me show you the old hub. We are at World Spawn. It's right here. It's exactly on this block, and this is how you get to the Nether Portal. We utilize the Nether Portal now. Now, for a short time, we were actually using commands to teleport around, and then whenever I merged it, I decided to play this really straight survival and not get into any of the command block stuff, so we got rid of these and now use the Nether Portal. I'll be showing you the Nether stuff later on, but let's take a look around this beautiful world that we're starting to create now. Now, I'm going to really go into some pretty good detail here. Hopefully I'll remember to put timestamps per different kingdom just so you can jump around if you want to, but let's start with just some of these little houses here. I do want to build a lot more of these, but we have all different kinds of stuff here. This is supposed to be a mangrove farm, doesn't currently work because it got a little bit messed up in the transition. You're going to hear a lot about how the world got messed up in the transition, but while we are here, I don't have any. I was hoping I had some wheat because this is my cow farm that so let me back up. When we converted the world to the combined merged world, all entities were deleted. All. That means everything in chest, every animal, everything. So what that means is I had to repopulate a whole bunch of stuff, and I just started repopulating my cows in there. That's the cow farm. This is the butcher farm over here. This is actually supposed to be what is this, lightning bug bush farm. So this, I don't know if this works in Bedrock. This worked in Java, but I may need to change it. But I had to stop all this stuff because I didn't have bone meal, and I finally do have bone meal again, so I can actually start to use some of these farms that require that to go. I had this because right before we merged, one of the nice things that Java now did is the spawn chunks were always loaded for growing crops. So I built this giant farm, and it goes giant. It goes way down and way up. There's a whole bunch of crops because they would grow all the time. So I would always have crops ready. Unfortunately, that's not the case anymore. They don't grow all the time on Bedrock, so I lost that, unfortunately, but it's still here. So when I am in Steelport, the crops do grow, and they grow. There's enough of them that I usually don't need a whole lot of extra stuff. We have some other things here, like this was a TNT duper cobblestone farm that, again, no longer works. The build itself is pretty cool. I like this factory a lot, but unfortunately, yeah, the TNT duper mechanism up there, that doesn't work anymore. You can't dupe that, but I do have all of these for some pretty fast ore smelting, bunch of lava here that does work, and so I can actually still use this as a super smelter if nothing else, unfortunately. But there's so many other buildings. I mean, every building in this city has at least some sort of use, which is kind of cool. Like this example right here, this is my oak and birch farm, which is really cool. It's just manual. You know, you just walk in, cut them down, all the saplings fall down, so you don't have to wait around for them. It's pretty good. I mean, not all. Some do get caught on the ledge there, but for the most part, they all. This is a lava farm, and that's the super smelter they actually use the most, probably just regular furnaces. Over here we have this is those nether tree farms. That's not a great farm. I don't really like using it, so I don't very often, but I guess whenever I really need to, I can. This is actually an apartment building. I really like this build. This is just, there's no purpose here. This is just actually for apartments, and I was doing this for I believe people who did super thanks or super chats where they would get their own room. I think I have a couple of them out. Oh, but the signs all died. Yeah. Oh man, I lost all the signs, unfortunately. But I have a new way of doing it now. So instead of get your own room here in the apartment building, you get a statue, and I'll show you that later on. But at least now I have a good permanent solution to, all these doors are all flipped around. I got to fix those at some point. I now have a solution to all that kind of stuff. Now, this is supposed to be a clay farm. This no longer works here, but this may be on the very near future. I really want to get clay. I want to use clay a lot, so what I might end up doing is taking all this stuff down and making a new clay farm that works, because I do want to use clay a lot, and I don't really want to have to go farm it all. So yeah, so this over here was that's a school. That's actually it's like a furnished school with actual classrooms and stuff, which is kind of cool. Chalkboards, everything. I would like to, what I want to do? I want to do some map art at some point for like chalkboards and everything to make this look a little bit more realistic. And this is a very simple netherwort farm. I doubt it works. Doesn't look like there's actually any netherwort in it. There is not. And of course, all these chests are empty. But yeah, this is supposed to be just where I could just go in here, buzz in here really quickly, and farm it all up, and then it would just be collected by minecarts. But I have other ways to do that now. I'm going to have to go sleep. It's already day 15,001, and I have a lot to show you. That over there is the Steelport flour mill, and right now it's basically just wheat. It's just a big wheat farm, so I always have access to a whole bunch of wheat if I want. This is my old mob farm that no longer works. It technically kind of works now for creepers only. I did a bunch of trapdoors and stuff, but it's passive and it's not great, but it does work a little bit. I'm going to make a better mob farm very soon, like probably like an endgame, hardcore, serious mob farm, but that's not going to be here. That's probably going to be a place... well, I know where it's going to be, actually. It's going to be out in the middle of the ocean, so that like when I'm there, it's super duper efficient, and not here where a whole bunch of mobs can spawn basically just all the time. So, over here we have a couple other factories. We got a creeper farm here that actually works okay. The way it works is I just have snow golems going up over here, right beside a pit, and what they do is they just hit creepers as they spawn with snowballs, and the creepers try to go get them, and they walk right off the ledge and they die down here. I just cleared this out not long ago, but there's a little bit of gunpowder in it. Not a lot, but a little bit. And then right across the street is, of course, a really big sugarcane farm that is great. I mean, it's really great. So the sugarcane farm is absolutely no problem. We'll never need sugarcane to get in this world. Gunpowder, kind of still. Over there, that's the Axiom. That's the town hall, which is where all of the big important decisions get made in the government of not just Steelport, but this entire world. This was... sadly a masonry trade, and I had these guys all down to 1 emerald per stone. It was really great, and they all got deleted in the mergening, sadly. And I had a zombie there that I used to infect them and cure them and all that kind of stuff. So unfortunately I lost all my masonry villagers that were all cured all the way. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with this place yet. Maybe this, in fact, actually maybe this will be the clay farm, because it's pretty big and I could make a bunch of layers. So yeah, maybe we'll see. Got a couple other little areas over here. This is actually a completed dark oak farm that I did. Just it's manual, but it works great. I'm tired of all these doors being the wrong way. Let me throw these in here and put these doors actually the right way so I can get in and out. So yeah, so it's very simple. It's just, your normal manual farm, but it's pretty good as far as like how it works. Like you can just cut them down, everything falls down here, and there's a whole bunch of layers. Like this goes you can see it goes all the way up here, and just all the saplings fall down, so you don't have to stand there and wait. And yeah, you end up getting a decent amount. And I have an ender chest here because this is where I keep my what do you call these, my silky hoe there, so that's always good and ready to be exploited. So yeah, dark oak farm is pretty nice. This over here is going to be some sort of animal farm within here. I haven't actually no, I'm sorry, that's not right. This is my cocoa bean farm. It's a whole building just for cocoa beans, and you can just hit the button and pistons move these, and you can harvest all and then replant, and you get a whole lot of brown dye. Like I will never need brown dye again ever. And this building over here, this is the one I was kind of thinking of. This is supposed to be an animal farm. I don't know. Oh yeah, this is my armadillo farm. Right. I need armadillos. Here, let me show you why I need armadillos, because that's in my newest building right over there, the old experience farm. And I really like this because I want to be able to repair my tools in different kingdoms, especially ones I spend a lot of time in, like for example here, Steelport. So this has I think 5 armadillos in there and a zombie, and they're taking damage, you see, but they're all, because of the zombie, they're all curled up in their little ball. So what I do is I hit them with one of these splash potion of infestation, and then they spawn a whole ton of silverfish right there. And then I have a trident killer that you can hear like popping right there. The tridents despawn, unfortunately, so I have to do it each time I repair, throw them onto the trapdoor, and then it works. It's not a great system, but it works okay. And yeah, eventually what I might end up doing is making these silverfish like fall into a 2x2 trident killer that maybe works a little bit better, because this one with just the trapdoor isn't great. And I'll have to do some testing, because I really don't want to have an absolute like catastrophe on my hands with the silverfish escaping and just going absolutely anywhere. There's only a couple little more things here in Steelport, and that is the jail. This has no purpose except for to just be a really sweet looking jail, but I think it does look really, really, really cool. And this is where all the criminals of this whole place go. The docks are not done yet. They're okay. But yeah, the jail even has has like a little like dock that you would row up, kind of like an Alcatraz type of thing. You row up, you put the prisoners in here, and actually finished interiors and stuff here too, like cells, like jail cells, right? So they would go. How do you get in? I don't know how to get in. How do I get in? I don't know how to get in my own jail. I guess that's good. I don't know how to get in my own jail. It's right here. Okay. So yeah, so you go in here, and yeah, you can see there's actually jail cells with where prisoners would live out their days. I did want to populate this with pillagers at some point, and someday I will, but that's not yet. So we're just going to go geographically in one direction instead of sort of by timeline. So that's basically Steelport. Let's go check out Frostmire Castle. Oh, I love Frostmire Castle, and I really want to do a lot more work to it because I want it to be a lot bigger. This is the college. This is where my sort of advanced students go to really learn how to fight against the evil AI Cal. And yeah, you can see it's cool. I like it. It's just not big enough to be super duper effective at what it is supposed to be. But the detail and stuff is pretty good. I don't know what's in all these buildings. I don't actually remember. Oh, this is supposed to be the gods. Right. There were, man, I had all this lore set up here in books that are gone. But yeah, I had the gods, the religion of the people here of this planet. Now this is the old Fixtopia part. This was all built in the Java world. But yeah, in this area, I don't know if there's anything in here. Is it anything? It's just doesn't look like anything. It looks like just empty rooms. Okay, so at some point we're going to need to come in here and finish this, and we will. This is my forever world. I had this is 5 years old, so world tour of a 5-year-old world. It looks cool. There's actually, this is a dining hall here. And I feel like this might be done. Yeah, there is actually dining. It's not a lot. It's just benches. But at least it's something to indicate what this is supposed to be. So yeah, this is the dining hall for the college students. More dining over there. We still need to build like a library and classrooms. I mean, there's a lot more building that we need to do here in Frostmire Castle. We will eventually. But the reason why I built this is because it's really close to my first kingdom in this world, which is called New Hope. And let's take a look at that. It all started right here. Well, it actually didn't all start. The Java world all started right here. This is my storage building in New Hope, and there's actually an underground farm here and some things. I don't think there's anything in any of these chests because I haven't worked here since the merging. This was my trading hall for villages, and yeah, I lost. They all despawned, lost them all on the change, but I originally had all the different library books that I could ever want, which was funny because this was a hardcore world, so why have like 10 different versions of tools and stuff like that? Because if you die, then you lose it all. Now that didn't end up taking. Basically, after 2,300 days, I decided that I was just not enjoying hardcore mode. I was tired of living in fear, and I wanted to just relax and enjoy survival Minecraft, which is really where my heart is. My heart is a survival Minecraft player, and so I decided I didn't die while I was in hardcore mode. I wasn't a big cheater, but I decided to convert the world to a survival world, and that sort of leads us into where we are now. This is a tiny little church. Boy, this is really small little church, but a little chapel. And this had, was this a church at the end? It might have been. I don't remember if, I don't think so. No, I don't think I ever used that, but that was an old Realm of Aston idea. And yeah, it's cool. We have a soccer stadium here, and the reason for that was there was a little bit of a lore segment they never explored deeply, where the people here of this area were like fighting for sport, and people were like dying. So they decided, I decided, as Steve Tepic, my character, decided to teach them all soccer because he came from a different world, and that way they wouldn't be always fighting and they could just play soccer. So tiny little soccer field right there. I mean, I really like this kingdom. I like this whole like flowery area. I just really want to expand the medieval side of things. I really love it, but, well, you know, we'll come back to it eventually. Lots of farmland, so much farmland, but I still need a lot more to make this whole thing work. But that brings us to the next kingdom, which is called Perseverance, and it is deep underground. Let me show you where it is. I love this place. So I converted an ancient city shortly after they came out, I believe, and yeah, it really was a fun build. So the story is, this is kind of where the world took a weird turn, because I have this energy system coming from a warden. Actually, there's a warden that actually I need a name tag, because when I redid this, I redid one skull sensor. In fact, it sounds like the warden might still be alive. Where the heck is he? Oh, he is. He's still over there. He's not name tagged. I guess this area just hasn't been loaded. I don't know. But yeah, he smells me. But he's stuck in there, and then it's sucking out the energy to portal. I ran in the wall to power this portal over here. And this portal is actually what we were trying to get Edwin, the mage, from the far future to here, and what happened was it didn't quite go right, and Edwin got separated in this portal from his own body into the Oracle, giving the Oracle physical form for the first time. And if you caught the very last segment of the very most recent lore segment, which at the end of every video there's a little bit of a lore segment that tells the overarching story of this world, well, that's how the Oracle sort of came into the physical realm. So yeah, I really like this. I want to make a reason to come here, because I never have to ever. So I want to put a farm here that's only exists here, whether that's, I don't know. I don't know what farm. Maybe even a clay farm or something. I don't know. We'll have to figure out some sort of farm, because right now there's no reason to come here at all, and I would like to rectify that. There's a port up here, and I don't really know where it leads, so let's check that out. This area, I actually don't have a name for it yet. So this area is going to become a major agricultural hub, I think, because it's going to be a good excuse to get a bunch of mud, because it's just in a newly generated mangrove forest, and it's not terribly far from the Fixverse theme park, which we'll get to later. But this is a big combination farm. For one thing, it's a bone farm. Well, bone farm, right? Because that is super duper important. But then if you go down underground, I decided that while I'm AFK here, I could do a few other things. One of them is, well, here you can see this is where the magic happens, and this is kind of weird. Like, you have to do these, like, I don't know, I just have to place these rails here, and then the whole thing fires with the trident killer and magma blocks and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it works. You just have to, whenever you come out here, you guys kind of gotta reset it, like this one here. It's not. There you go. Now it's working, and now everything dies. So anyway, all the bones that I get come through here into some minecart systems, and then they drop down here, and then they go into this section, and this is where I have a little bit of a crafter set up, and an auto sorter too. So the auto sorter goes bones and fish, and then it's crafted the bones into bone meal, the bone meal into bone blocks, and you can see I have a lot of bone blocks here just from the building of this. Like, I've not AFK'd here really hardly at all. This has all been just from the building, so that's really sweet. And then you go down to the next layer, and I have an iron farm, which I just completed last episode. After a disaster where all my villagers were killed. It was shockingly terrible, but yeah, they were all killed. But then I made actually a different breeder and a repopulated. What I'm going to do is I'm going to work here the next episode whenever we come back into the 15,000 day block. I'm going to be working on a lot more on this, where I want to have emeralds, iron, bone, and also I want to do wool. There's going to be a big automatic wool farm here, so that way when I'm AFKing, I'm going to get wool and tons of iron, and then the ability to get emeralds as well. But that's just about all here. There's not a lot to see here. This is a brand new area that we just started working on. This area makes me so happy, especially now with the big parking lot. This is the Fixverse theme park, and we actually now have a parking lot. A really nice big parking lot. So even a parking garage over there and a bus parking on the other side of it, and this is where you come in. So I always thought it would be really cool to build a theme park, and sort of the lore behind this is that the people here working in this world, and they're preparing for the eventual attack of an evil AI that's blowing up every single world in the universe because it's in a crusade to eliminate all life, named Cal. Well, he's coming, and they know exactly what day, which is on day 20,000 in this world. So I have about 5,000 days left. And one of the things that they need is they need more help to build giant planetary defenses, because when we started back on day 1, this was a very medieval world. Now, we're going up through the ages where we now have industrial city, even a space station at this point, but we need more people. And one of the Steve Tepek's ideas was to build a theme park here in order to bring in more and more and more people, and then encourage them sort of to stay and live in this world and help everyone fight. So that's kind of the idea. Now, there's actually rides here that are functional. This is a Escape from the Nether boat ride. You take a boat through this created nether, and then you escape through it just before the gas that eventually is going to be a happy gas. It's going to be so awesome to have up there. Blows you up and you fly out, and that's the end of that ride. But there's some non-working rides like this giant Ferris wheel that just looks sweet. Whole bunch of food shops. There's a bunch of different restaurants. The Sky Cart situation here. There's actually some working stuff. There's like a couple arcade games I have over here with like a snowball sort of system and dodgems, ice boat dodgems, and there's some other things. But my favorite part of it is probably the castle. It's very sort of reminiscent of Cinderella's castle. So we have a, big castle right here, and this is like the food eating section and all that kind of stuff. And you would come up here and they would try to sell you some souvenirs, some merch, some trinkets and so forth. Everything is landscaped just beautifully, but then this is the central hub. In every direction you go, in whatever direction you go to a different land, and the only land I have really it's hardcore work on so far is the zoo. And we have so far only the barnyard animals. We have the vanilla temperate pigs, cows, and chickens, and then eventually we're going to add more. Over here, I have if you go past the barn, this is supposed to be a donkey exhibit, but I think all my donkeys died in the conversion, so I need to sort of convert that. And this is supposed to be a turtle exhibit, but all my turtles died. Oh no, there is a turtle. There's one turtle here. Okay, there's one turtle. I need more turtles, but eventually we'll get more somehow, and I want to have a couple turtles in this exhibit. Oh my goodness, there's a bunch of turtles. Where did you guys come from? Did they just spawn here? Should I name tag them so they don't go away? I don't know. They're so great. Oh, I'm so happy. Anyway, and I have bees too. And these are actually working honeycomb farm. One is a honey farm and one is a honeycomb farm with bees. And this actually, I did update this to Bedrock, so this actually works now. So if you come in here and you go up here, this should automatically be working basically all the time that it's loaded. And yeah, you can see the bees up there are working. They're doing their thing for honey, and the other one's a honeycomb farm. So I always have access to that, which is really, really, really nice. Yeah, I do want to expand this zoo just massively where I get every single animal in the game. But also, we have a volcano over there. A giant, giant, giant volcano. And you can see it's erupting. That's part of the show. This is in lore. This is an artificial volcano. And these things, these big lava projectors, are going to fall into a certain place where they can be taken back inside the volcano and reuse, because it's going to be part of a ride. There's going to be maybe a roller coaster or something that sort of goes up the volcano side, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun, but we clearly have a whole lot of work to do there. The volcano is one of the very few things that I don't think Vibrant Visuals plays as nicely with as what I had before, which was RTX, which I still have RTX technically, but I've really sworn into the Vibrant Visuals. I just think that it's just not quite as effective. The RTX really played, because it is shaded with a whole bunch of different blocks, and you can't really see it with RTX, unfortunately. But yeah, we're going to have a roller coaster that's going to go up here, so it's not really going to matter, because you'll just see the roller coaster, and that'll be enough. But yeah, the Fixverse theme park, one of my absolute favorite parts of this world. I would say one of my two probably favorite parts. And yeah, we're going to continue working on this very shortly. This area yeah, I never really had a name for it before, but it's out of New Hope, and I'm on the old wool farm that no longer functions because all the sheep are dead. I'm going to call this the Southlands. I don't think it had a name, but there's just some acacia huts where the farmers of this area live, and this is basically just an area where all of my people are fed because, yeah, I have a lot of people here that need food. So here in the Southlands, which I think works just fine, it is to the south and it's land. There's just a tiny little village here where farmers, they wake up, they work, then they go to bed. Not a lot to see here, but at least somewhat finished interiors. I should sleep, I think. But I really, really, really like these tiered farms up here. I just think they're really cool. I think they add a lot to it, and just some interesting ways of sort of getting around things. But right next to it is actually the Arc Tower. This is sort of part of the same area here. This is the Arcane Reception Coil, and this is where the people of this land are able to communicate with people of different times in different areas, because this tower is connected to Tracy, the good ship AI that came from Captain James Doan's ship, and Tracy is able to sort of interact with this and hello and talk to the people here and help them teach and learn and get new technologies and all that kind of stuff. And basically this started really early in the Java world, where I just wanted a mega build of some sort, and I came up with a reason of why I wanted it. And yeah, the Arcane Reception Coil, I think it's pretty darn cool. Wow, really interesting lighting up here. I kind of forgot about how this works, but yeah, it's awesome. Sandill was a fishing village because I wanted to have ships again to feed the people. I was very concerned with feeding my ever-expanding village when we first sort of started this world, and I wanted a Guardian Farm. So that airship up there is the old Guardian Farm, which again no longer works because it's no longer over technically an ocean monument. That stuff has changed, but I have a whole bunch of ships here. They look really, really cool, especially with the vibrant visuals. That is going to be eventually something else, because that over there, right there, that's my new Guardian Farm. So I was able to find in the new generation, the seed changed, all that kind of stuff when we converted. That is the new Guardian Farm. So what we're going to do is we're going to build something up here that's going to kind of connect all this and make it look good, make it look like we're supposed to. But Sandill is just a regular old fishing village. That actually was built by Andy Days. I had a competition to see among my viewers and supporters to see who could build something that was the coolest and that would fit in this world the best, and Andy won. And so I rebuilt his build inside of this world at Sandill, and I just think it's a really cool, interesting build. But yeah, the Sandill is it's a cool little place. We got a little mining area and loading up all the stuff onto these ships. Each ship has an interior and stuff, and yeah, it looks pretty good. Let's continue on south. We're headed south. I cannot remember what the name of this little hamlet was. So if you think of a good name, I'm going to leave this as unnamed hamlet. I can't remember what it's called. I don't imagine there's anything here. Is there anything even? No, there's really nothing. I don't even know what this. Yeah, all this stuff, everything in all these chests are gone. But yeah, I don't know. I came up with this idea that I wanted to build some houses that looked like this, so I did, and I don't really have a name for it. It just helps fill out the world. It's just like a little hamlet sort of in between Sandill and going down towards Gabor, just to fill out some space, but also to lead the eye towards my pirate ship. This is my coral farm, and I have no idea if this still works. I've not been here since converting, but right here, I made the ship right over top of a coral, warm ocean coral area, and you could put bone meal in there, and then use shears and get all the coral fans and stuff you wanted. So it's just like a reason to come out here and have, I think it's a pretty cool looking ship, just sitting there. But again, I don't know if that still works. We're going to have to check that out later. But that leads us right to our next kingdom, which is probably, I don't know, it's a top 3 kingdom here for me. Let's go to Booty Bay. Welcome to Booty Bay. This is my Pirate's Cove, and man, I love it. I love this. From the interesting, like, sort of man-made architecture with all the spikes to the little pirate's village that's all sort of a, I don't know, like derelict and all messed up to an upside-down ship as the storage building right here. Like, you can barely tell what it is, kind of, but maybe that's even kind of one of the cool parts here. If you look at it right here, you can see it's like it's like an upside down hull of a ship is the storage building. 2, this actually has a use. There's a reason why I need to come out here, and that's one of the things I really want to do a lot more of. If you look past this little booty bay, this little, I don't know, tavern area, you can go down into this, and there's a little kind of a walkway, ravine here. That's where the nether portal lines up right there. But if you go down, which I can't, if you go down to here, you're going to see there is a lush cave, which eventually I want to do something with. I want to make that into a smuggler's cave. And down here, you see, this is actually my functional bamboo farm, and it works. Yeah, so again, it works maybe a little too well. I might have gone a little crazy on it because I need a faster collection mechanism. But oh boy, this guy's mad at me. Oh no. He's so mad at me. He's so mad. Where'd he go? I just ran away because I had my UI hidden. Where is he? Good old Gabor. This is the home of the Aon people, and I really wanted just like a ruined ancient city. I wanted something to add like years, add age to this world, so I went with a super old civilization. Also, I wanted a raid farm, and this was my old raid farm. I am fairly confident it probably doesn't work anymore, but yeah, eventually I just had this big open section because raid patrols would spawn somewhere on here, and then they'd go over there, they'd send some one villager I had in like a hole, and they would just fall down, and then I would just kill them with the one hit kill sort of area. But also, I had an armor trim station right here, armor trim ruin, which no longer has armor trims in it, and a sniffer farm over here, which no longer has sniffers in it. So yeah, I got some work to do, but the portal actually does work. This portal right here, which is probably my favorite portal design. I do want to improve the portals of like the coming out portals a little bit more. Right now they're just kind of generally just portals, but this one I think is really cool. So yeah, so I have this. Looks like it's time to sleep, and we'll move on to another city. Not a lot to see here in Gabor, but I do like it. There's a big dig. So when I need stone, there's 2 places that I get, like 2 quarries I have. One is here in Gabor, because eventually what I want to do is underneath here, I want to dig way down, and I want to build something really, really, really cool here in the middle. But that obviously we have, I don't know, about 100 or 150 blocks to dig down here. So it'll be a while. This brings us to the new spawn. This is, well, older in a way of thinking. This is my bedrock spawn. This is right where I spawned whenever I started my bedrock world over 5 years ago. You can see this is where it ended before I decided to bring it back to life and convert it into the same world. This area is called World's End or World's Edge. I can't remember which one I named it. It's probably a graphic on the screen right now. So yeah, this is the original mining spawn area. And my thought for this world when I first started was I wanted to keep everything really, really close, which is something I've kept to kind of more recently too, where I've kept everything built just like close together. And the reason why I've done that is so you can just sort of like smoothly transition between areas, and there's not a whole bunch of dead area in between. And the whole thought of this was I wanted every block to be custom done, and that clearly has not happened. As you can see right here, this is all this river is blah whatever, but yeah, this was supposed to be, you know, this was the old world gen, like this was before Deep Slate existed and all that kind of stuff. So the thought would be that I would have roads and just constant points of interest every dozen, 50, 100 blocks. There'd be something to look at, something that was interesting. So I had this area right here. This Toblin, this was the old world name from the Bedrock world, was called Toblin, and this is kind of where all the lore started. So if you want to hear the lore, the first 4 episodes of my survival playlist is the lore of Toblin. It's all right in there. You can check it out, and you can kind of see how this all came to be. They're all numbered, I think. So yeah, anyway, and I had this little area here that I just thought was kind of cool looking, kind of a Tuscan style sort of area, like Rose. I was channeling my inner Italian here, trying to look at something that, you know, kind of resembled the old world, if you will, like the old world on Earth. And yeah, I just think it was really cool. It was all supposed to be roses, and then after doing some roses, I kind of thought, maybe I need some other crops too. But yeah, big rose kingdom here. And eventually what I want to do over here is I want to do like kind of a Tuscan fortress up here on this little area here that I haven't done. But I want to show you a problem before we go too much further, and that is part of the world conversion. You see this? Yeah, see that big flat wall? Well, there were a lot of chunk errors that I just dealt with. This entire row for like 1,000 blocks, maybe more, maybe thousands of blocks, was all just one big flat area. And I went through with a World Edit-like program, and I just sort of jumbled it up and made it look at least a little bit more natural. It's not great, but it's way better than just a flat surface, because it went for a long way. So unfortunately, that was just something I had to deal with. There are hundreds of different little areas that are, you know, chunk error that I just had to deal with. And so eventually I'll come in by hand and do it better, but I didn't want it to look so gross if you just see it on the video. So I took some time and I just went in kind of with a creative add-on and just did those. Now this is all custom hand-built mountain, as far as everything else you see is all custom hand-built, but I want to be really upfront and straight with dealing with those chunk borders was rough and ugly, and I did it, but I hopefully that's all kind of behind us. Now this is an area that I just did sort of in the end of the Bedrock world, where I wanted a resin farm. So I grabbed these pale oak, and this is also a manual pale oak farm kind of area here. But if you go up here, there's actually, and I fixed this does now work with Bedrock, but at nighttime, there are some hearts of, what do you call it? Is it hearts of resin or hearts of pale oak or something? And they're right here. And then these pistons will move. So all you do is you start the trident killer right there. And then that also pushes out the pistons, which knock the resin off. But it only works, of course, at night. But it does work. So I'm able to get quite a bit of resin just by sort of standing by that AFK trident killer for a good while. I mean, it's not super fast, but it's okay. It's fast. It's fast enough for me, I think. But let's go over here to the White Castle, the Iron Farm. I really, really, really love this build. You can probably tell because I featured it on a lot of thumbnails. This is absolutely one of my favorite builds I've ever done. I just love it. In fact, I like it so much that the Fixverse Castle was very much modeled on sort of the same idea. It just turned out really, really well. I did have to go in and change out a lot of the bricks here for the white pale oak, because when I built this, I was using a custom resource pack, and then I'm not now. I'm just using vanilla. So a lot of it didn't work, but it does now. And this is actually an iron farm, which I spent a painstaking time replacing all the villagers, only to have to do it basically again here in the last episode, where I did it again because I wanted a second iron farm. But yeah, I have all these villagers here, and these guys up here can convert, and then that gives you a discount. And these are basically all the books that I could ever want. You know, your mending and your infinity looting and all that stuff. And these actually I have. Well, of course I picked one they don't have. Well, maybe I don't have any of them. I don't know. There, I got a couple. I have a few books, but also some iron trades for some emeralds. But this is just not a super good trading area. This is really just to get the books, and that's pretty much it. Eventually I'll have other iron farms for things that I want, like glowstone and stuff like that. Like, for example, at the new bone farm, I have one set up just to get me essentially emeralds, that then I can come to these other areas that I'm going to be building all over the world to do other trades. But it does work, and it does connect up to the nether hub. So let's head instead overground, and let's fly over to the mountain, because I have some other builds under the mountain that I think you might want to see. I freaking love this mountain. I mean, I love this whole kingdom. I spent 7,000 days in the Java world, building all those different kingdoms. I spent 7,000 days in this Bedrock world, essentially building just this with this big custom mountain, this custom mountain over here. This one is obviously still about to be worked on. I'm going to expand it up because when I built these, build height had not increased yet. So I'll be expanding this to be a lot taller, but I love this mountain. I love all of it. I love just how it looks. I love how it feels, the whole thing. There's some other builds here that are on the way to it, like this little fishing village. Not a lot to see. There's just a little fishing village on this little lake. I have an amphitheater where the people, make their proclamations and their announcements. But I even have a road that actually goes all the way up. You can actually walk up the entire way up this mountain, and it does dip inside a couple times. And this is where there's going to be an awesome fortress at some point, but we're not there yet. But right now, what we are there is we have a gold farm under the mountain, and this is basically where I repair my tools almost all the time. I just come over here. I have a trident killer. You flip this and the nether portals turn on and off really fast, and every time they turn on, there's a pretty good chance of a zombie piglin spawning, getting flushed down here, and then I just turn on the trident killer and kills it just like that, and I get the experience. So it's pretty darn fast. In fact, I need to repair my tools anyway, so let me show you. Looking around here at the main, sort of city of Toblin, there's a lot to see. There's a whole medieval town area. There's also a castle, and the castle has sort of a full courtyard with places where people live. And I filled in some of the new stuff that we've gotten here recently, like cherry trees, and there's some pale oak trees and stuff like that. But if you continue on up here, this is one of my main 2 storage areas. I've decided to keep almost all my stuff either here in my Toblin storage area or back in Steelport in my sort of Fixtopia storage area. So whichever place I'm working, I can store stuff here. There are a few other places like big digs around here that I can get resources at, and I don't have to travel all the way back and forth, though everything is finally hooked up to the nether. For example, this is one of my big digs. So if you look at the top of this mountain, there's going to eventually be a waterfall, and the water's going to fall down here and go into this area right here, and this is going to be an awesome ravine city. We're going to do a whole city down here, but I want to dig it out by hand. So every time I need specifically diorite, andesite, or granite, or gravel to a lesser extent, I can just come here and just mine. You get so much. I get almost equal parts, honestly, diorite, granite, gravel, and andesite as I do like regular stone. It's really amazing how much there is. And this is the old generation. You know what? No, I lied. This is not. This was a prune chunk. This was when copper was added, so 1.17. So there is a ton of copper in this particular area. So just by mining here, I'm constantly getting lots of copper and lots of coal in particular. I don't really need anything else, but those are the 2 big things, and I'm just getting a lot of it. So every time I need something, I just come down here and mine it. I have 4 beacons that line the way, and I can just go to town. But that's not all. There are some other builds that I think are pretty cool. This is the castle keep. There's a lot of work that needs to be done still over here, which I'll do eventually when I'm feeling that medieval building bug hit me, because that's the whole theme of this town. This diagonal, the Rose Keep, I think it was called. This is where the queen of this area lives. A diagonal. I really wanted to try my hand at a diagonal fortress. I think it turned out pretty well. Looks pretty cool. This was challenging. It was hard, but I think it worked out okay. And then I had a new building style that I was working on when I started these, which was a very packed together, really city sort of medieval building. And I think it turned out really well. Like when you walk down these streets, things are packed tight, and they're pretty tall, like all 2- and 3-story buildings. But it looks good. The streets aren't straight; they're all sort of whichever way, and just I don't know. I like this area. I think I called this New Town. I called the old place Old Town. Really creative with the names. Oh, look, these are all for X Paradox. These are all names of the supporters. I gave them all their own house, and clearly interiors not my jam. But there's also just boats, and these are just random boats. And this, as far as the lore goes, this actually was kind of a big deal. This steamboat here, I wanted to try a steamboat. It's okay. It's not my favorite build I've ever done, but it's all right. Because this steamboat was the first technology that they had here, and the Inquisitors, the sort of bad guys of my world, they did not like that. They did not like the added technology, so they sort of lashed out, and that's sort of one of the things that spurred on some real major issues with this world. Now there's another area over here that I started that I don't know if I'm going to keep or not. This was the Inquisitor's Kingdom, where I started building it over here, and that series, that's when this Bedrock series ended, because I got bit by the hardcore bug and I really wanted to play hardcore, which was basically the end of the Bedrock world and the beginning of my Java world, Fixtopia. So yeah, if you just go over this way, you'll see there is the beginning of an Inquisitor Kingdom, and that's kind of all I got to. I just did this much. I don't know. I don't know. I'm so unmotivated to do more of this style, and I have this whole giant area set up. I don't really know what the future holds for this. But there's a couple other little kingdoms I want to show you, and then we'll kind of end on, well, the end. I do want to pop in here and show you this because I was just flying in between Toblin and the old Guardian farm. I want to show you what I've been dealing with and why I used an add-on. There are literally hundreds of these areas all over this world, surrounding in every side these areas, and like I just know that I wouldn't have fixed it ever. It just would have been like this forever, just because there weren't 5, there were like 300 of these, and it's just too much. So eventually I'll come in here with that add-on called World Builder, which is kind of like World Edit, and I'll just sort of make these look semi-natural to a little bit, and then maybe later when I build out here, I'll come in and actually make it look good in survival by hand. But yeah, there's a lot of this. Don't worry about this. This is where I collected ice for the nether road, so ignore that. But yeah, look at this. Look. There's so many. These floating islands, they don't annoy me as much. Look at that. Look how big it is. I've never even seen this. I didn't even know this one existed. Oh my goodness. Look at this. Oh, I didn't know that was there. Oh, I have so much work to do. Okay. And like even this where it's not as obvious, like the line of like spruce to ice is so straight. I just need to deal with it. But you can see this one I did catch this one, so I fixed this one, kind of fixed, quote unquote. But yeah, it's a lot. But this is where we're headed next. This is the first mega build that I started, and I haven't finished it yet because I haven't totally decided how I'm going to do it. This is super interesting. Is this lightning bushes on ice or on snow? It is. So weird. Why would they be there? So what I want to do is I want to come back here, and I think this is going to be... Now, this was my Guardian farm. There's actually a dugout Guardian fortress on the bottom there, but unfortunately it is no longer a Guardian fortress, or a Guardian, what do you call it? I forget what you call it, Guardian temple or whatever. So yeah, eventually what I'll do with this area is make this into my next Bedrock mod farm, but that's going to be down the road just a little bit. I forgot a kingdom. I totally forgot a kingdom. So if you look right up there, this is Frostmire Castle, and we're back in the world of Fixtopia, the old Java world. And I built all this farmland because I wanted to connect New Hope, Frostmire Castle, Steelport's just right over there, to my supporters kingdom. And yeah, I actually forget the name of this. I have to look it up. Can't remember the name, but this is, so I had this thing going for a while where I had a server open where I allowed my supporters to play in a copy of this world. I think it was like the day 3000 copy of this world, and they built this kingdom. And then I thought what a cool thing to do would be is to come in after I copied and pasted their world. It was all done in survival into my world. And then what I've been doing is I've been kind of slowly going in and I don't know, like overhauling their world to make it fit sort of my style. So I took basically the builds that my supporters did, and then I've kept everything in place, but I've added to it. So like this is like the first building I did. I just sort of made it look like, you know, kind of my style. And then I did these houses down here, and again, just sort of making them fit my style of this world. And I'm just continuing to go in and sort of just, I don't want to call it like rehabbing because their builds were great. I just wanted to like, you know, sort of do my take on what they did, which, you know, is not exactly the same, but similar ideas. Like this marketplace was kind of like this, but then I just changed it to fit sort of the way I see things and the way I feel. Like all these houses, I think I added all these houses, I think. But some of it I kept the same. And I've been recently redoing this castle, which was a really cool castle, and just making it fit sort of the way I do it, where you can see all the white terracotta. That's totally my style. That's sort of the way I do it. The gate area, I think, was largely redone here, where I just kind of did the gate in the way I sort of see things, and then there's a lot more that has to be done here, but you know, there's some of it here. In fact, yeah, I want to get back to this because this has a lot of potential, but this kingdom is going to be really, really fun because now that I'm in day 15,000, one of the things I want to do in this world, and the reason why, one of the big reasons why I converted to Bedrock was to play with my kids. So we are going to be working on this kingdom. Me and my two boys are going to be working on this kingdom and doing some builds here. So there might be, you know, my boys are 7 and 9. So there might be some things that are not quite medieval accurate to what is going on here, and that's going to be okay. I'm going to let them play and have fun, and we're going to do some really fun things in survival in this world. They're generally creative players now, so I'm trying to convert them into playing survival mode, and so we can start to play together. So we're going to be starting in this kingdom very soon here, just playing, especially like when they're, you know, at their mom's house and something, so we can play. They'll be on their phones and we can play together and just have some fun as a family. It'll be really a great time. But I have one more build that I really want to do. So let me find the nether portal here. It might be here, and head to the end. This is the Titan Station, and oh baby, I love it. So in my Java world, I took down the entire End Island, all the obsidian towers and everything, and I built this space station in its place. And this space station is the #1 most lore-driven build I think I have in this entire world. This is the defense against Cal's evil AI armada that's coming our way. There are so many parts of this Titan Station. We could do an entire world tour episode just right here. I'm just not going to show all of it, but I'll show a couple things. So there are water elevators to each layer. So like if I want to go to the throughway, or if I want to go to the lab, the upcoming space lab up there, I could do that. Or let's see, here's the cactus sniffer farm. So yeah, you can check out where I have that kind of stuff, because those sniffer flowers are kind of hard to get. So also I was hoping to have a cactus farm. I don't know if it's working. Let me see, where's the cactus here? Oh yeah, I am. Yeah, it's working in. Okay, I was composting all the cactus, but now I have a really great source of bone meal, so I don't need that anymore. Eventually, I do want to get sniffers put back in here, but I lost my eggs. I might do that before the world tour, actually, just go find some suspicious sand and get some sniffers in there. That'd be kind of nice, but regardless, yeah, they're gonna, because I lost those again too, and yeah, this is a really, there's just so much to the Titan Station that we could look at, but I don't want to be here all day long. Each one has one of these drop chutes that you can just sort of fall down, as long as you don't hit the ground accidentally. I've died here a couple times accidentally, because you clip an edge and you're dead, but yeah, there's a lot to see here that we're not going to get to today, but that's going to wrap up this world tour. I have no idea how long this episode went. Probably very, very long. For members at the silver tier and up, you can get this world download on a YouTube. It's YouTube members exclusive, so you can grab that on a YouTube link that will be available visible only to members, and also in my Discord if you have it linked to my supporters. So I love you all. Thank you so much. If you are interested in becoming a member, you can do that, or just thanks for checking out the videos. I really do appreciate it. I love you all. We're gonna see you back here in just a couple days with the next episode, starting the 15,000 day block. And we'll see you all then. Bye, everybody.